America's highways get all the glory, but the real stories live on the backroads. From bizarre engineering flukes to forgotten dead ends and mind-blowing stats, we're leaving the interstate behind to uncover the strangest and most fascinating facts about US local roads. And number 15 might just stop you from driving at night. Number 50. America has more than 4 million miles of roads, enough to circle the globe 163 times, but only a small fraction is made up of interstate highways. The majority are local roads that snake through rural towns, quiet neighborhoods, and open farmland. Roughly 72% run through rural areas, and over a third aren't even paved, forming a rugged network of gravel and dirt paths. But it's these ordinary roads that do the heavy lifting. They connect underserved communities, supporting farms, guiding first responders, and shaping daily life for millions. Get off the freeway, and you're driving the true backbone of America's road system. And probably straight to the auto shop. Number 49. Drive for long enough, and you'll also find roads to nowhere scattered across the country. Some dead-end streets are traces of neighborhoods that never materialized, while others are remnants of aborted highway projects halted by lawsuits, lack of funds, or shifting politics. Alaska's legendary Hall Road, officially the Dalton Highway, stretches 414 miles, 666 kilometers north to Dead Horse, a remote outpost near the Arctic Ocean and the Prudhoe Bay oil fields. Highways like this are often maintained to serve just a handful of families or key industries, while others slowly fade from maps and memories. Fact number 48. In states such as Illinois, Ohio, and parts of New England, township roads are managed directly by locally elected boards, not by counties or states. This highly federalized system means that two nearly identical roads can be vastly different in quality or upkeep, all because they cross a township boundary. Township officials often handle everything: snow plowing, pothole repairs, grading, and setting rules. Some even take care of local parks and public spaces. This structure ensures that road decisions are hyper-local, reflecting the specific needs and quirks of the residents. But as a result, township roads often become a source of hometown pride or frustration, depending on how well or how poorly they're maintained. Number 47. Rural roads carry only a small share of America's traffic, but they're where 56% of fatal crashes happen. Poor lighting, narrow shoulders, sharp curves, and the occasional tractor or deer all raise the risk. And with about 80% of rural routes maintained by cash-strapped local authorities, safety upgrades are often out of reach, turning daily drives into potential death traps. These roads are essential for moving food, goods, and services across the country, but for drivers, they're some of the trickiest and deadliest places to be behind the wheel. Number 46. Millions of US roads are still unpaved, mostly gravel or dirt, especially in rural and remote counties where paving just isn't cost-effective for low-traffic routes. But unpaved doesn't mean low maintenance. These roads need constant grading, dust control, and repairs after every big storm. In some areas, they're left that way on purpose to protect fragile ecosystems or preserve that old-timey historic charm, which also happens to be a great excuse to not spend money. Seasonal dirt roads closed during winter exist in places like Vermont and Minnesota. Unpaved routes may frustrate drivers, but they're also cherished by off-road cyclists, bird watchers, and anyone else seeking America's wild spaces. Fact number 45. Believe it or not, stretches of highway in Montague County, Texas are paved with gold. In the 1930s, sections of US 81 and US 287 were built with concrete made from local sand that just happened to contain natural gold dust. It's not enough to mine, so don't bring a shovel, but the glitter is real. Locals proudly call them the gold-paved roads, a quirky blend of geology and folklore that still shines in Texas history. Number 44. Amazingly, some of America's oldest toll roads from the early 1800s are still in operation today. These began as privately funded or community-backed projects, letting travelers pass in exchange for a small fee to cover construction and maintenance. A lot of them now belong to public agencies, though a handful still collect tolls using automated systems or even old-style toll booths. The New Jersey Turnpike and parts of the Pennsylvania Turnpike both have roots in 19th century toll routes. As urban growth surged, toll roads provided vital links between settlements, shaping regional development patterns that persist even today. Number 43. Americans love local rules, and nowhere is that more obvious than on the roads. Some small towns ban honking except for emergencies. Others require yielding to livestock or have rules protecting historic brick streets from heavy trucks. In parts of Louisiana, your car must stop for ducks and cows. Speed limits can drop to 10 miles an hour in school zones, and some neighborhoods ban left turns during rush hour just to keep things moving. Number 42. Like you always tell yourself, size doesn't matter. Some officially named streets are more novelty than necessity. Oregon's Mill Ends Park Road is just 3.1 square feet, circling what's technically the world's smallest park. In Michigan, Shortest Street lives up to its name at just 117 feet long. These roads show up on maps and in public records, but they exist more to spark smiles and stories than to actually move traffic. Number 41. If you've traveled in rural America, you've probably noticed that many small towns turn to thermoplastic materials rather than regular paint for road markings. Applied hot and molten, these bright lines fuse to the pavement, lasting up to 5 times longer than regular paint. They stay reflective through rain, wear, and snow plows, making them ideal for harsh conditions. While the upfront cost is higher, they require far less maintenance, saving towns serious money over time, a big deal for tight local budgets. Most drivers never think about them, but these high-tech stripes quietly make America's local roads safer, clearer, and easier to navigate. Number 40. The U.S. Forest Service manages tens of thousands of miles of unmarked, unpaved roads, many invisible on official maps. Originally cut for logging or fire access, these secretive routes crisscross America's forests and mountains. Locals, hikers, and off-road enthusiasts often rely on them to reach remote campsites or fishing holes, while biologists use them for conservation studies. Forest Service roads can also vanish after a storm or become seasonal foot trails, adding to their elusive character. Number 39. Scattered across America are hundreds of paper streets, roads that exist on maps but not in real life. Often drawn up by 19th century developers hoping to sell land, these phantom streets were part of grand plans that were never developed, and they can still cause headaches for unaware travelers and residents. Imagine discovering a mysterious road running through your backyard, or neighbors arguing over access to a strip of grass. That's the legacy of paper streets. Some cities repurpose them as walking trails or alleys, but many remain legal oddities, visible only on old maps and buried in property records. Number 38. Local roads determine just how far mail carriers have to travel. The longest rural route in the nation sends drivers across nearly 200 miles of backroads in rural Montana, complete with bumpy gravel, livestock blockades, and the occasional blizzard. Meanwhile, some urban postal routes on tiny grid streets may require only a brisk walk through a handful of city blocks. Sometimes it's easier just to send a text. Number 37. In some states like Nebraska or Iowa, you'll see so-called minimum maintenance signs posted at the entrance to remote dirt roads. That's your warning. These routes might only be passable in dry weather, with no promises of grading, plowing, or safe bridges. Locals know to steer clear during spring mud season, but for some reason, it's the only route to a field or isolated home. For adventurous tourists, it's a glimpse of off-grid America. Just don't get stuck, because any rescue will be on your dime. Number 36. Every town seems to have a main street, but America's local roads often have some wild, memorable names. Some communities embrace road naming with a sense of humor. There's Psychopath in Michigan and Chicken Dinner Road in Idaho. Others wink at history or pop culture, like Zizek's Road in California. Meanwhile, Texas reportedly has over 3,300 roads named Farm to Market, so double-check you're headed to the right one. These quirky names often trace back to early surveyors, local legends, or just someone with a good sense of humor. They add character and occasionally confuse travelers and GPS apps alike. Number 35. Local roads shaded by towering oaks or maples evoke a picture-perfect scene, one that feels timeless and peaceful. Yet America's long-standing tradition of street trees often sparks intense debates within communities. On one hand, these trees cool entire neighborhoods during scorching summers, offer pleasant shade over sidewalks, enhance air quality, and even increase property values by making streets more attractive. Homeowners cherish the natural beauty and the sense of history that mature trees bring to their blocks. However, the roots of these trees can wreak havoc on urban infrastructure by lifting sidewalks, cracking curbs, and damaging underground pipes, which leads to costly repairs. This conflict often divides small-town councils, neighborhood associations, and residents who might argue for months or even years over whether certain trees should be preserved or removed. Iconic old-growth roadside elms and maples frequently become treasured landmarks and symbols of local identity, but newly proposed tree planting initiatives can ignite disputes over the choice of species, allergy concerns, and long-term maintenance expenses. Number 34. In cities like Philadelphia, St. Louis, and Charleston, you can take a trip to the past, and there's no time machine required. Some streets here are still paved with bricks or cobblestones laid in the late 1800s and early 1900s, a reminder of America's earliest roadways. Once cutting-edge infrastructure for horses, trolleys, and early cars, many of these roads have lasted over a century, preserved by local care and protected by historic district laws. They're loved for their old-world charm and hated for the ride. They're bumpy on a good day, and when it rains, they're slick enough to send you straight to the ER. Keeping them in good condition requires specialized skills and generally costs more than modern asphalt. Repairs demand hand-laid craftsmanship and less common materials. Despite these challenges, communities are often fiercely proud of these iconic roads. Number 33. Each winter, thousands of towns dump millions of tons of salt on local roads, which is essential for preventing ice-related accidents. Yet, road salt doesn't just disappear, it runs off into soil, streams, and eventually ends up in drinking water. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency estimates some streams in snowy states have salt concentrations comparable to ocean water by spring. Cities now experiment with alternatives like beet juice mixtures and sand blends, or even pre-wetting salt to use less. Number 32. Roadside mailboxes don't get much attention, unless a teenager with a baseball bat is involved. But these everyday fixtures are actually carefully engineered for safety and accessibility. In the US, federal guidelines cover everything from height to setback distance, all to reduce hazards for drivers and pedestrians. Most mailboxes are also designed to break away on impact, minimizing damage and injury if a car veers off course. In regions with heavy snowfall, mailbox heights are adjusted to remain above snowdrifts, preventing blockages during winter months. In tornado-prone areas, mailboxes are even built to withstand flying debris, offering surprising resilience in extreme weather. Now, if only they could apply that tech to houses. Number 31. Ever noticed strange colors, numbers, or symbols painted on the pavement? They might look like Banksy's had an off day, but they're part of a nationwide code used by utility crews to mark what's hidden underground, from gas lines to fiber optics. Different colors correspond to different underground utilities. Orange marks communication lines like telephone or cable, blue signals water pipes, and red denotes electrical cables, and so on. These markings guide crews safely during digging or repairs, preventing accidental damage to essential infrastructure. In addition to permanent utility markings, many cities use temporary chalk or special paint for short-term needs, such as alerting crews to upcoming roadwork, marking detours, or even outlining race routes for community events. This covert visual language is key to maintaining the complex web of buried pipes, cables, and conduits that keep local roads and neighborhoods functioning smoothly. Without this system, a careless dig could disconnect your internet or cut off electricity, causing widespread inconvenience or even injury and loss of life. Number 30. Not all roads are public property. Across suburbs, rural subdivisions, and lakeside communities, thousands of miles of private roads exist. Homeowners associations, condo boards, and even individual families must repair potholes, plow snow, and enforce rules themselves. Some private roads are gated and luxurious. Others are rutted, half-washed-out trails that test even serious off-roaders. Legally, they live in a gray zone. That means disputes over maintenance, insurance, and public access are common. If you've ever caught a no trespassing glare while cruising what looked like a perfectly normal road, congrats! You probably stumbled onto one of these hidden slices of America's road system. Number 29. In many older American cities, the modern streets we travel on today often lie directly above much older roadways, each layer revealing a piece of the past. These hidden streets may trace indigenous pathways used by Native Americans, pioneer wagon trails carved during early colonization, or horse-drawn streetcar tracks that powered urban transit in the 19th and early 20th centuries. In cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston, utility workers and road crews occasionally uncover these historic layers when repairing or upgrading infrastructure. In Boston, crews have discovered wooden block pavement laid in the 1800s beneath modern asphalt. And New York's Lower East Side sometimes reveals cobblestone sections dating back to colonial times. Over in Chicago, remnants of old horse-car rail lines have been found during construction projects, offering a glimpse into the evolution from horse-drawn transit to electric trolleys and cars. Number 28. Local governments sometimes set speed limits that seem downright puzzling. For example, in Maine, some roads have speed limits that can go as low as 10 miles an hour, and some small towns in North Dakota post oddly specific maximum speeds like 19 or 23 miles an hour. These unconventional numbers aren't mistakes but deliberate choices. Often, they serve to catch drivers' attention, encouraging them to slow down and obey the rules. In other cases, the limits reflect unique local conditions, such as frequent cattle crossings, narrow factory driveways, or other hazards specific to that community. Number 27. Although roundabouts are common features in many countries around the world, they remain relatively novel in numerous American towns, and that causes confusion. For many years, much of the U.S. road system favored traditional stop signs and traffic signals over circular intersections. So when communities install their very first modern roundabouts, initial reactions can range from skepticism to outright opposition. Residents often worry about unfamiliar driving patterns or fear increased congestion. However, a curious transformation frequently takes place after these roundabouts open. They tend to reduce the frequency and severity of crashes by calming traffic and eliminating risky turns, while also improving traffic flow by reducing wait times. As a result, many small towns have now started building additional roundabouts. Number 26. You've probably noticed signs along highways and local streets where businesses or community groups proudly adopt a stretch of road. This grassroots movement originated in Texas during the 1980s as a response to rising municipal costs and growing public concern about litter and road maintenance. The Texas Department of Transportation launched the first official Adopt a Highway program in 1985, inviting volunteer groups to take responsibility for cleaning and beautifying designated road sections. The idea quickly caught on and spread across the United States, becoming a widespread symbol of community involvement. Volunteers commit to regular trash pickups, planting flowers, and maintaining landscaping, helping to keep neighborhoods clean and visually appealing while significantly reducing government maintenance expenses. Beyond practical benefits, the program is supposed to foster civic pride and environmental stewardship, encouraging local residents to take ownership of their surroundings. The quirky names adorning Adopt a Road signs, from families and hiking clubs to entire schools and even local businesses, reflect the diverse groups involved. So far, we've uncovered bizarre speed laws, eerie roadside encounters, and hidden messages, but this journey through America's backroads is far from over. Number 25. For most Americans, nothing says road work ahead like the unmistakable Dayglow orange construction barrel. These plastic drums, introduced in the 1980s, replaced old steel barrels filled with sand or concrete, making them safer to hit and easier to move. Now, the orange barrel is practically a mascot for the summer maintenance season, visible across every state. Some cities hold contests for the wackiest decorated barrels, while others hide road barrel art in plain sight. Every bright orange barrel marks a spot where local crews are hard at work, patching, building, and reimagining your neighborhood roads. Number 24. In some regions, certain local roads are intentionally built over low-lying lands that flood each spring or after heavy rainfall. Known as seasonal roads or sometimes roads, these stretches may be drivable for just half the year and become canoe routes or fishing spots for the rest. Communities often post updates, warning signs, or even floating barricades. Living near one means your commute depends on Mother Nature's schedule. Locals adapt, tracking water levels like they're checking the weather, or gauging when their car might turn into a submarine. Number 23. With over 480,000 school buses traveling local routes across the United States, the rules governing how drivers must respond when a bus's red lights flash vary significantly from state to state. In many regions, the law requires that all vehicles on both sides of the road come to a complete stop whenever the bus stops to pick up or drop off children, ensuring maximum safety for students boarding or exiting the bus. However, in some states, the rule differs on divided highways with a physical barrier or median. Only traffic following the bus must stop, while oncoming vehicles can proceed with caution. These regulations are more than just laws. They are deeply embedded local customs and widely understood community practices. In many small towns, knowing exactly when to stop for a school bus is seen as a badge of citizenship, a sign that you respect local norms and the safety of children. Enforcement can be strict, with hefty fines and license points issued to those who violate the rules. Number 22. Many American towns have laws regulating so-called curb cuts, the access ramps from road to driveway. These rules control how many driveways a property can have, their widths, and their distance from intersections. Sometimes battle lines form between homeowners wanting more driveways and traffic engineers who argue that more driveways means more turning, more accidents, and a less walkable street. In places with historic brick or stone sidewalks, driveway debates reach fever pitch, with preservationists defending every inch of old pavement. Number 21. Ever notice how the sidewalk can suddenly disappear or shift to the opposite side of the road? In thousands of US communities, these puzzling sidewalk gaps are common and often the product of complicated factors. Private property boundaries, zoning changes over many decades, and limited municipal budgets all contribute to incomplete or disconnected pedestrian pathways. Unlike many walkable cities around the world, most American towns and suburbs have been built with a heavy reliance on cars, prioritizing driveways and roads over continuous sidewalks. As a result, pedestrians often find themselves walking on grass, gravel shoulders, or even dangerously close to traffic. This lack of consistent sidewalks poses challenges for accessibility, safety, and community connectivity. Advocates for pedestrian-friendly infrastructure frequently push local governments and city councils to fund sidewalk infill projects that close these gaps and create safer, more walkable routes. However, these projects can be slow to start, sometimes taking years due to funding constraints, bureaucracy, or conflicting property rights. The patchwork nature of sidewalks in many U.S. towns highlights how car dependency remains deeply embedded in urban planning, even as demand grows for more walkable and accessible neighborhoods. Fact number 20. Jokes abound about roadwork crews and never-ending lunch breaks. In reality, local roadwork is dictated by strict rules for worker safety, mandated rest periods, and supply chain delays in materials. Sometimes towns have one small crew handling everything from potholes to sign repairs, causing one project to grind to a halt while another takes priority. What looks like idleness is usually a perfectly timed pause to let new pavement cool, to wait for parts, or simply to protect workers from extreme heat or cold. We're down to our top 20, so stick around to learn the most interesting facts yet about the US road system. Fact number 19. In snowy states like Colorado and Montana, Certain mountain roads are closed for much of the winter behind snow gates. These gates, often marked with flashing lights, warn travelers that the road ahead is unmaintained and unsafe during harsh conditions. For example, Colorado's Mount Evans Scenic Byway is closed from late fall until spring due to heavy snow and dangerous ice, reopening only after thorough plowing and grading. Similarly, Montana's remote mountain passes close seasonally to prevent accidents on slippery, snow-packed roads. These roads often serve ski resorts, backcountry ranches, or wilderness areas with limited access, so closures protect drivers and maintenance crews alike. Some snow gates are also paired with information boards, updating travelers on conditions or detours. Once spring arrives and crews clear the snow, these scenic but treacherous routes reopen, reconnecting remote communities and outdoor destinations. Number 18. Did you know that the iconic triangular yield sign made its debut on a small local street in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1950? Oklahoma Highway Patrolman Clinton Riggs was a student at the Northwestern Traffic Institute, now the Center for Public Safety, in 1939 when he created the yield sign as a class assignment. His goal was to improve public safety and determine liability in an accident. In 1950, as a member of the Tulsa Police Department, Riggs placed the first yield sign at the most dangerous intersection in the city. Within a year, the number of accidents fell to 0. Soon, yield signs appeared at intersections across the country. Before this simple traffic device was introduced by Riggs, there was little national agreement about who had the right of way at minor intersections. The lack of clear rules often led to confusion, frequent fender benders, and frustrating snarl-ups, even on quiet residential streets. The invention of the yield sign provided an immediate visual cue, telling drivers to slow down and let others proceed if necessary, helping to prevent accidents and keep traffic moving smoothly. Its distinctive triangle shape and bold lettering distinguished it from other road signs. After its initial success in Tulsa, yield signs began appearing throughout the United States during the 1950s and 1960s, particularly at intersections that didn't require a complete stop but still posed risks. Number 17. Much like paving, or lack of, almost half of all road miles in the United States are also unlit after dark, especially in rural regions and outer suburbs. For millions of drivers, navigating at night means relying on vehicle headlights to see the road ahead and carefully watching for unexpected hazards. Installing and maintaining streetlights is expensive, consuming a significant portion of many local governments' budgets, particularly in areas with long stretches of road and low traffic volumes. Some communities deliberately choose to limit street lighting, either to save energy costs or to preserve the natural darkness for outdoor activities like stargazing. Towns near national parks or dark sky preserves often restrict outdoor lights to protect wildlife and enhance night sky visibility. Number 16. It's a sound every driver dreads. That loud thunk that makes you wonder if your car just lost a wheel. Every spring, after winter's brutal freeze-thaw cycles, local road crews gear up for massive pothole blitzes, patching thousands of craters that riddle city streets like Swiss cheese. Repair teams race against time, often fixing tens of thousands of potholes within weeks using various materials like temporary cold mix for quick patches and more durable hot asphalt for permanent repairs once warmer weather arrives. Some cities even experiment with innovative techniques, such as infrared asphalt heating, which rejuvenates pavement seamlessly. Residents actively participate by reporting potholes via dedicated phone lines or apps that let them vote up the worst offenders, blending repair work with civic engagement. This seasonal frenzy underscores the universal desire for smoother streets, even though many know the cycle will start anew next winter. It's a testament to the ongoing battle local agencies faced in maintaining roads amid challenging weather and growing traffic demands. Number 15. Every region in the United States seems to have at least one local road steeped in ghostly legends. These roads are often the setting for eerie stories about spectral hitchhikers who appear out of nowhere, mysteriously vanishing vehicles, and unexplained phantom lights flickering in the night. One of the most famous is Clinton Road in New Jersey, a stretch known for its chilling tales of strange creatures, haunted bridges, and unsettling paranormal activity. Meanwhile, over in Pennsylvania, Kelly Road has earned a reputation for unusual phenomena, including reports that pets suddenly become aggressive or behave oddly when traveling through the area. These spine-tingling stories are a fascinating mix of urban legend, folklore, and campfire tales, creating a unique blend of mystery and local color. They attract thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and curious travelers alike. Number 14. In snow-prone places, there's fierce competition over which roads get plowed first after a storm. Local priorities are typically set for school bus routes, main arteries, or any street where emergency vehicles must pass. Still, residents often know someone on the inside and will try to get their road cleared faster. Over time, the unofficial pecking order becomes part of local folklore and neighborhood rivalries. Number 13. A major piece of local knowledge in the US are the shortcuts, alleyways, or dirt roads you use to shave precious minutes off your commute or avoid traffic. Some of these become so popular, they eventually earn official names and signage, while others remain semi-secret, passed down through word of mouth or only found on quirky, hand-drawn neighborhood maps. Shortcuts are proof that local roads aren't just static lines on a map. They're dynamic and always evolving with the habits of those who use them. Just remember to keep them secret. Number 12. At some busy intersections, especially in small towns, crossing guards aren't just safety monitors, they're local celebrities. From superheroes to cartoon characters, some towns use costumed mascots during peak times like Halloween or the first week of school. Imagine Iron Man helping you cross the street. These themed crossing guards turn safety into a fun, memorable experience for kids, making the rules stick in ways lectures never could. Others dress up for local festivals or holidays, adding a dose of community pride to everyday traffic control. Number 11. Few signs inspire that sinking feeling quite like no outlet or dead end, especially if you're terrible at backing up. One wrong turn and suddenly you're performing a 37-point turn while a squirrel judges you from the sidewalk. But these warnings serve an important purpose beyond mere convenience. Emergency responders, delivery drivers, and utility crews depend heavily on accurate signage. It allows them to know which roads actually connect to other streets and which forcibly end, ensuring they can plan routes quickly and avoid wasting precious time. In neighborhoods across the country, residents often become deeply involved in debates over the placement of these signs. Some advocate for more no-outlet or dead-end markers to discourage cut-through traffic and preserve privacy, helping to reduce noise and unwanted cars speeding through quiet streets. Others oppose additional signage, worried it might confuse visitors or make navigation more difficult. We're in the top 10 now, and if you thought the last ones were strange, just you wait. Number 10. In the US, speed bumps can be a source of both appreciation and frustration, transforming a quiet residential street into a zone of conflict. Many homeowners advocate for these traffic calming devices to enhance safety by slowing down speeding vehicles and protecting children playing nearby. However, drivers often oppose speed bumps, complaining about the uncomfortable jolts and delays they cause. Even emergency responders express concern about slower response times. To balance these issues, some communities install speed humps or speed tables, which reduce traffic speed more gently while minimizing discomfort. Neighborhoods also use colorful paint, clear signage warning children at play, and sometimes even homemade bump-ahead notices you may have seen on rural roads. Number 9. From the upper Midwest to mountain regions of New England, thousands of miles of rural roads go unplowed and unmaintained from November through April. Signs warning unmaintained in winter or seasonal road closure alert travelers to the risks of venturing onto these roads during harsh weather. In places like northern Minnesota, northern Vermont, and the White Mountains of New Hampshire, this means that residents must carefully plan their winter transportation months in advance. Some park their vehicles at neighbors' or friends' driveways that remain accessible year-round, while others equip themselves with snowmobiles, cross-country skis, or even dog sleds to navigate the snowy backwoods. These dormant roads between winter maintenance are part of the balance rural communities strike between adventure and safety. For example, in Vermont's Northeast Kingdom, certain forest roads transform into groomed snowmobile trails, attracting outdoor enthusiasts while remaining off-limits to cars. In parts of Maine, winter isolation fosters a deep connection with nature and solitude, but also demands preparedness and resilience from locals. Number 8. Local bridges in many rural areas often have posted weight limits as low as 3 tons, roughly the weight of a full-size pickup truck. These restrictions can create real obstacles, sometimes stranding farm equipment, firefighting vehicles, or delivery trucks trying to reach remote homes and businesses. In recent years, social media has amplified dramatic scenes of vehicles stuck on narrow rural bridges, damaged guardrails, and even quirky handmade warning signs. Such viral images highlight the ongoing struggles small towns across the U.S. face in maintaining aging infrastructure, much of which dates back to the 1950s and 60s. Repairing and replacing bridges is one of the most costly and complex challenges municipalities confront, requiring significant investment and planning. Yet these bridges are vital lifelines, supporting local economies by connecting farmers, emergency services, and residents to essential resources. Without regular upkeep, weight-restricted bridges threaten access, safety, and economic stability in rural communities. Number 7. Many states have preserved particularly picturesque local routes as designated scenic byways, roads that wind through historic villages, farmland, mountains, or riversides. These routes often bypass main highways, offering views, picnic stops, and links to local landmarks that tourists would otherwise never see. In some communities, scenic byways drive their whole tourist economy, with special signage, guidebooks, and annual festivals. Number 6. From rural Maine to the Southwest desert, Americans decorate their roadfront mailboxes with everything from barn-shaped boxes to sculptures of cows, trout, and even tiny reproductions of family pets. In some rural communities, elaborate mailbox contests fuel neighborly rivalries and mild despair for the poor mail carrier trying to keep a straight face. These mailboxes become unofficial local landmarks for those driving by. Number 5. Some local bridges have gained charming nicknames tied to their unique histories. One of the best known of these was the Rooster Bridge in Alabama. In 1919, when funds ran low to complete the bridge, a local named Frank Derby held a lively rooster auction, raising the final money needed for construction. This inventive fundraiser not only finished the bridge, but also united locals around a shared cause. Although the Rooster Bridge was finally demolished and replaced upstream in the 1980s, similar grassroots efforts have helped many small towns across the U.S. preserve vital infrastructure. Bake sales, community festivals, and other events have raised dollars for repairing or building essential roads and bridges that connect isolated residents. Number 4. Roadside ditches may seem unremarkable, but they are a marvel of local planning essential for stormwater management. These shallow depressions along roads efficiently channel rainwater away, preventing floods that could damage homes, crops, and road infrastructure. Their vegetation lining helps trap sediment and pollutants, improving water quality before runoff reaches streams or lakes. In many communities, ditches serve as the first defense against stormwater flooding by directing water flows safely off paved surfaces and into the ground. Proper maintenance, like mowing and preventing erosion, keeps these ditches functioning effectively and reduces costly downstream damage. Beyond flood prevention, roadside ditches protect agricultural fields by preventing standing water that could ruin crops. Number 3. While traffic calming is often associated with large urban areas, some rural communities have developed creative, low-cost solutions to managing vehicle speeds on roads passing through small towns. For example, in Iowa, a series of experimental traffic calming treatments has been implemented on rural highways passing through towns like Union, Roland, Gilbert, Slater, and others. These treatments use visual cues such as transverse pavement markings, chevron patterns that narrow lane perception, and speed tables, raised, flat-topped speed bumps designed to reduce speeds without discomfort to larger vehicles like farm trucks. Some of these markings gradually change length and spacing to give drivers the impression that they're speeding up, prompting them to slow down. Number 2, look closely and you'll notice that street names, layouts, and even the way a road curves can express local history. Roads named after founders, veterans, or lost landmarks turn navigation into storytelling. Winding lanes reflect the natural landscape, moving across creeks, hills, or historic property lines. Main streets double as parade routes and gathering places. Through their function and their identity, local roads stitch together the everyday lives and memories of most rural rural communities across America. And finally, number 1. The U.S. interstate system draws most headlines for EV charging, but the future of transportation is coming to America's backroads too. Innovative towns are installing solar-powered streetlights, laying sensor-embedded pavement for smart traffic signals, and placing charging stations at local shops and parks. Pilot projects across the country are experimenting with recycled materials, low-pollution surfaces, and high-tech safety features. The next era of infrastructure will transform not just the highways, but likely the majority of the roads in America. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, then please consider subscribing and turn on notifications. It really does make a difference. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on MatPack.